Welcome you all in this lecture. We are going to discuss about the influence of groundwater table on effective stress. In the last class, we started discussion about effective stress, and our interest in this effective stress is to compute effective stress. In this topic is to compute effective stress. In fact, if we want to compute effective stress, this was happened by knowing total stress and pore water pressure. So here you see, initially we calculate total stress, sigma. Then we will calculate pore water pressure, gamma of water into height of water. So if you want effective stress, what we have to do now is sigma dash is equal to sigma minus u. This discussion happened in our previous video. Now in this lecture, we are going to discuss about what is the influence of groundwater table on effective stress. So let us proceed now. Here you see here we have a ground here. So one can see now this is the ground. This is the symbol of ground surface. Now what I'm trying to tell you. So now there is a water table, and unfortunately it touched the ground surface. So this is a symbol of groundwater table. I will draw once again. This is a symbol of groundwater table. As the water table rises and touches the ground surface. So now the water table is at ground level. Water table is at ground level. How to compute effective stress? How to compute effective stress whenever water table is at ground level? That is our interest. Now you see, whenever water table rises to the ground level, so what is going to be happen now? Now we are not supposed to write gamma. This time the soil is saturated. Gamma sat. So you know how to compute gamma sat. If gamma sat is not directly given, sometimes they give specific gravity of solids and wide ratio. So many of us know about how to determine saturated unit weight from GS and E. As you know, gamma sat is equal to G plus E into gamma W by 1 plus E, because degree of saturation is 1 if soil is completely saturated, fully saturated. So now we are supposed to write gamma saturated. Now our interest is to compute vertical stress at a depth Z. Z is equal to H when it is at bottom. Here you see Z is starting in vertical direction. Here you see Z is 0 at ground surface. Z is equal to H at bottom of the soil layer. Now here you see I'm going to calculate sigma. As I told you, our first intention is to compute total stress, then followed by pore water pressure. Then ultimately we are going to get sigma dash by subtracting pore water pressure from total stress. So we are getting is equal to, this is effective stress. So let us proceed now. Here it is 0. Why I'm writing 0? You can here see gamma sat into depth. Here depth is 0. That's why answer is 0. This is regarding total stress. Now you see, I want to compute total stress at the base of the layer. Now one can see now, here it is gamma sat into H. Gamma sat into H. Gamma sat into H. This is about total pressure right from top to bottom. Now if somebody is interested to calculate gamma sat at 1 meter, one can able to calculate gamma sat into 1. And if we want to calculate gamma saturated at 2 meter, one can calculate gamma sat into 2. So like that, you can calculate stress at any point below the ground surface. Here the ground is fully saturated, and in fact it is submerged because water table is touching the ground surface. Now here you see what I'm trying to tell you. Try to join these extremities, you will get a linear variation. From this we can interpret that as the depth is increasing, stress is increasing. So this is very interesting fact, we should accept that. So this is what total stress is, the stress due to sulfate of the soil. Obviously sulfate, here we are trying to say gamma saturated. Now minus, I'm telling now pore water pressure, there is no water above the ground. So now gamma of water into 0 because depth is 0. Now no water table is there above the ground, no water table, water level. Now right from, you see, if you go to Z is equal to H, now gamma of water into height of, if you insert a piezometer, because the water table is at ground level, So now the water table will rises and gives a reading H, because I am telling you the thickness of the layer is H. Now gamma W into 0 at top. Now what about to pour water pressure at bottom? Gamma of water into height H. Now let us proceed now how to compute sigma dash. 0 here at top, sigma pour water pressure is 0 at top of the soil layer. Now 0 minus 0 is 0. So no need to surprise. 0 minus 0 is 0. So now one can easily understand now sigma dash at bottom. I have total stress minus pour water pressure. Now let us write now gamma sat into H minus gamma of water into H. What it gives now? Z is common here. H is common. Gamma sat minus gamma W into, altogether it is common is H. Now what is gamma sat minus gamma W? This one is gamma submerged. So now you can see effective stress is the original stress acting on soil. Why I am trying to use that word original stress? In fact, you see here, one can easily understand. Here you see sigma dash is gamma dash. The right word is gamma prime, submerged unit, right? So sigma dash is the original stress. The reason is, see, once the water table is rising and touching the ground level, one can easily understand now the ground is submerged. Now the ground is submerged. That's why the submerged unit weight you can see in effective stress. So that's why I'm trying to say that the soil is not only saturated, in fact, it is submerged. That's why original stress acting on soil mass is effective stress, not the total stress. Not the total stress. So here you think that my body is wet, but in fact my body is wet. I am now drowned in water body. So that's why now the submerged means I was drowned. Saturated means my body is wet. So try to understand the difference between saturation and submergence. So in fact, here the ground is submerged, not only saturated. That's where the original stress is effective stress. So I have shown you just by this. Now I will try to show you on paper. All of you clearly see now what I am writing on paper for better understanding. So have a look on this. So let us start our discussion now. Here you see what I am trying to tell you. Once the groundwater table is present, what will happen to effective stress? That is the discussion now. Let us see now. I have a ground. Let me draw it. So this is the ground level. Now this is the soil actually. In fact, I would like to write gamma saturated. Why I'm writing gamma saturated? Many of you know it. Why I'm writing gamma saturated? You are ready to tell, because water table is at ground surface. Water table is at ground surface. Now this is Z, starts from in vertical direction. Here in geotechnical we have X, Y, Z, no doubt. But here Z is meant for vertical. Here you see vertical. So vertical. So Z is vertical. Now Z is 0 here. Z is equal to H here. In fact, this is H. Z is equal to H. So once you are at the bottom of the layer, now you see. Let me draw total stress now. Here it is 0. Don't worry now. You draw a triangle. What it is saying here, as the depth increases, stress is increasing. Here it is gamma into 0, gamma sat into 0. I will write without any hesitation. Here gamma sat into 1. Here it is gamma sat into 2. So what I'm trying to tell you, if Z is, let me tell you, Z is 4. H is thickness of the layer is 4. Now, anyone ready to tell now what is the total stress at bottom? Gamma sat into 4 minus, let me pick up the another color for better understanding. Now you see, for water pressure, as you know, where we are multiplying with gamma of water into, here depth is 0. Now let me draw. Now what is this one now? Gamma of water into height of the water. Here see, water table is at ground level. If I insert piezometer, I will get total head. So gamma W into 4. Now my interest is not just calculation of sigma and U. My prime interest is very clear. I want to compute effective stress. How to compute now? Now I am showing by drawing. So not just by reading some PDF. Now one can see now 0 minus 0, here it is 0. Sigma dash is equal to, as we are repeatedly telling, sigma dash is equal to sigma minus u. Now 0 minus 0 is 0. Now what is going to be happen at the bottom? In fact, it should be reduced one. Actually, you see, here the gamma sat into 4 is a bigger value. Gamma w into 4, it also gives some substantial value. But when it comes to sigma dash, the diagram will be reduced. The reason why, because you see, we are deducting, as you know, gamma sat into 4 minus gamma w into 4. Now, all together, one can easily understand what I'm getting here is very clear. Gamma dash into 4. Why I'm writing gamma dash? As you know, just now we discussed why I'm writing gamma prime. In fact, that's the right language we should use. Gamma prime, submerged unit weight, SUB. Okay, if you're not comfortable with gamma prime. So gamma sat into 4 minus gamma w into 4, because z is equal to h here. I'm telling at bottom. Here you see now, z is equal to h. Now what is common now? Gamma sat minus gamma w is common. Into 4. This we are trying to write as gamma submerged. So gamma submerged into 4. But one thing I would like to tell you at the end of this discussion, I can tell you one thing. As the water table increases, let me write note, very important note. So it is the time to write, nothing wrong to write. So here the biggest thing we have to think, we have to discuss here is, as the water table increases, as the groundwater table increases, effective stress decreases. See what happened here, you see, once the water table is increasing, what happened? Pore water pressure comes in picture now. Pore water pressure is increasing. As the water table is increasing, pore water pressure is increasing. So if pore water pressure is increasing, if U is increasing, what will happen to sigma dash? It will be decreases. So if pore water pressure is increasing, the contact between the particles is going to be decreased. So the effective stress, that means the stress originally acting between the particles will be reduces. So that's why the groundwater table detrimentally affect the effective stress. No doubt it causes decrease in, effective stress. This is a very good discussion. Finally, what I'm trying to tell you, as the water table increases, effective stress. Now we will discuss one numerical example about how to compute effective stress in case of once water table is at ground surface. Let me show you a numerical example so that we will have a better understanding about this concept. So I have a ground here. In fact, and now I'm going to draw the ground. Here you see, this is the ground. This is the ground surface that we are trying to call many times ground level, ground surface. Now here is actually, let me show you now. I want to calculate effective stress at a depth of 4 meter. Thickness of the layer is 4 meter. Okay. So now let me tell you, gamma saturated is 20 kilonewton per meter cube. So let us see now how to calculate effective stress. So as we discussed effective stress, we cannot get it directly. We have to do first calculate total stress and then pore water pressure. Then we have to calculate sigma dash is equal to sigma minus u. So let us proceed now how to determine sigma. So I'm going to draw a triangle. Now can anyone tell me now what is sigma now? Gamma sat into 4. So I have 20 into 4, which is equal to 80 kilonewton per meter square. Somebody wants to know why you are writing kilonewton per meter square. Somebody is interested to ask, but I can tell you kilonewton per meter cube into meter, that gives kilonewton per meter square, which gives actually units of pressure. So now it is 0 at ground. Total stress is 0 at ground. This is the total stress distribution diagram, right from top to bottom. Now let us proceed now how to determine pore water pressure. So let us proceed now how to determine pore water pressure. It is 0 at the top, gamma of water into 0, because no water table above the ground level. Now, what about for water pressure at the base of the soil layer of soil? Now, U is equal to gamma of water into, here height of the water is 4. Now 9.81 unit weight of water kilonewton per meter cube into 4 meter. So we will get a value approximately. I can tell you many times, you see, we are using acceleration due to gravity 9.81. So unit weight of water is 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube into meter. So we are getting kilonewton per meter square. So it is approximately, I can tell you, 40 kilonewton per meter square. And I am having 80 sigma. Pore water pressure is 40. Now let me tell you the answer is equal to at top I can tell you 0 minus 0 is 0. I will also write that 0 minus 0 is 0. Now at bottom it will be reduced now. It is not 80. So now it will be 80 minus 40. The answer is 40. So sigma dash is equal to sigma minus u. I have sigma gamma sat into 4 minus pore water pressure gamma of water into 4. Now what is common is 4 is common. Gamma sat minus gamma 4 w into 4. This becomes gamma prime. This we call it submerged. As you wish, you can write either prime or submerged into 4. Now one can easily write now gamma prime means gamma sat minus gamma w. Alternatively, I am telling you now 20 minus 10. In fact, it's 9.81, but we made it a round figure for a better understanding now. So now 20 minus 10, it will be 10. Now 10 into 4 is obviously 40 kilonewton per meter square. So always remember one important point. Whenever water table is there, let me draw water table. This is groundwater table, which is at ground surface. Whenever water table is increasing, effective stress is decreasing. So whenever water table is increasing, groundwater table is increasing, effective stress is decreasing. So thank you all.